Hello, whistlers everywhere. Thanks for joining me, the Whistleblowers YouTube channel. So today I thought we would look at rolls, and in particular what we call a long roll. So we've talked about cuts in previous video, and today we're going to look at how we can extend a cut by adding a tap. Now, a tap basically is exactly what it says. Sometimes they're called pats, but tap is the word which is more commonly referred to. So, what a long roll is, it's a series of three separate things. So you have the note itself, then you cut the note, and then you tap the note. So what is a tap? So what we do is if we play a tap on E, we do that. We tap the note below. So we've got an E, we tap it like this. And basically what you're doing is you're interrupting the flow of the note by adding that tap, and it's a percussive kind of tap. So you're actually just tapping the D hole when you're playing the E. And what you don't want to do is to spend too long on that. You don't actually want to sound the note below. So we don't want to do this. What we want to do is this. And this is where relaxed grip and soft fingers are critical, because it's going to be so much more difficult to do it if your fingers aren't relaxed. So yeah, relaxed fingers are really important for this. So to tap the E, we just use the D finger. To tap the F sharp, we use the E. To tap the G, we can use the F sharp. Or we can use two fingers if you like. It doesn't really matter because we don't sound the note itself. It's more of the rhythmic effect that we want. And then we're going to tap the A. So we're going to use this finger here. Now this one is tricky, this finger here. And most people, when they're attempting to do taps and rolls, they always say that the A and the B rolls are the trickiest. And it's because we have to move this finger quickly, relaxed, and basically just tap it. So we're doing this. And so for the B, again, we can use one finger or we can tap with the G. Or tap with the G. Now C. So there we have it. And it's pretty much the same in the upper register. So D, we can't tap because there's no note below it. E. F sharp, G, A, and B. So that's what a tap is. And it's important to get that technique as fluent as you can, because it makes up the second part of the long roll and the short roll as well. But today we're only going to deal with the long roll. So if you're thinking in terms of rhythm, the long roll is based on three separate eighth notes or quavers, depending on whereabouts in the world you are. But I'll refer to them as eighth notes so that everybody knows what I'm talking about. So we sound the note, we cut the note, then we tap the note. So note, cut, tap. And we want to do this in strict timing. So note, cut, tap. So if I was to tongue three Gs, We're going to do the same rhythm, except we're not going to use our tongue to articulate, but what we're going to do is we're going to tongue the note, then keep the breath flowing, and we're going to cut and then tap underneath. So if I'm going to do a long roll on G, I'll sound the G, cut the G with the A, and then tap with the note underneath it. So it'll sound like 1, 2, 3. So in slow motion, what I'm doing is note, cut, tap. But as I said earlier on, you don't want to actually sound the note. This is rhythmic, not melodic. So tongue 3 notes. So the same rhythm, but we're going to just keep the breath going and do note, cut, tap. And so a little exercise that we can do, we can go up and down the whistle using long rolls. So we're going to roll the E. Now with the E roll, what I like to do is I like to cut the E, cut the F sharp, and cut the bottom D with the same finger. Now you don't have to, you can roll using the note above and the note below. So you can either do this, or you can roll like this. So cutting with the A, cutting with the F sharp. I prefer to use the A to cut because I can use the same note on the D, the E, and the F sharp. So a little exercise in rolling. Start on the E and we're going to go up to the B in the first register. So it's going to go. And then go back down. And so once you get fluent at that, rather than tonguing the first group of 3, we're going to try and go up and then come back down. So we're going to go. And then back down. And then when you get really fluent, you can go up and down, all in the one breath. And we do the same thing in the upper register too, exactly the same thing. So high E, F sharp, G, A, and B. So to go up, and down. And again, we can do the same thing going up and down in the one breath. Now you may have to take a breath at the top and come down because when we're in the upper register, don't forget, we're going to push more air through quickly. And so you might need to breathe a little bit more often. And again, depending on your whistle, some whistles like this one isn't particularly good in terms of air. I love the tone of it, but it it needs a bit of oomph to actually play it up in the higher register, and it does use a fair bit of air, but I like the sound, so I put up with that. So again, upper register, and down. So it's a good idea to practice in both registers so that you can comfortably move between registers and you know what the air pressure is like on your particular whistle. So another good exercise is to do it in groups of 2. So start low, and then go high. And again, we're going to tongue the first one, and the rest is all done just through your air. So like this. And again. And then the same on the F sharp. And B. And what you're aiming for is a nice clean transition from the lower register to the higher register. And then once you can do that, you can go low, high, and then come back down again, like this. And again, go up and then come back down again. So we're doing a couple of things in that exercise. We're not just practicing rolls, but we're also practicing moving between the registers without tonguing, and it's really important to be able to do that. As I said in the previous video about tonguing, we want to try and minimize tonguing so we can work on good, clean finger articulation, rolls, cuts, and everything. So we don't want tonguing to get in the way, but we can break it down so that each group, we can first off start tonguing in groups of 3, and then we can just tongue the first one and then just use the breath to go up the whistle, and then at the top down. And then what you can do once you're good at that is you can go up and down again in the one breath. Now with this being a particularly not particularly friendly in terms of air consumption, I'm going to go up and then take a breath and come down. So we're going to go. And if I want to do it all in one, I have to do it a bit quicker. So it go. And the same thing with the upper register. So we're going to repeat everything that we do in the lower register in the higher register, and then we can mix the registers. So there you have it. This is a little bit on the how we make a long roll, the construction of it, and what belongs in a long roll. So we've always got the note first, then we cut, and then we tap. And it's equivalent to 3/8 notes or 3 quavers. And again, it's important to really work on that technique of getting the cut and the tap, so you're not doing this. But you're doing this. So if you imagine a long note, the cut is an interruption to the first part of the note, and then the tap is an interruption to the second part of the note. So we're sounding the note, we're cutting, and then we're tapping. So and if you speed it up, another exercise to move between 2 different notes or 3 different notes. And I like to do top hand rolls in succession because it's working that weaker finger. So I'll do again. And when we speed it up. Now, again, as I mentioned before, you want to make sure that your rhythm is rock solid. You don't want to play the cut before the second quaver, and you don't want to play the tap before the third quaver, 8th notes. So if you think of it, 1, 2, 3, first note, second note is cut on the beat, and the third note is tapped on the beat. And it's really important that we get on the beat concept. So again. So there's a long roll. There's lots of tunes you can put long rolls in, and really where you put them in is kind of where you feel that they belong. You need to make sure though that when you're putting a long roll in, that it fits into the correct amount of time. So you need to have something which is equivalent to 3/8 notes, or a dotted quarter note, or a dotted crotchet. And that's the time that we work for with the long roll. Yeah, the dotted quarter note. So just to recap, yeah, the long roll consists of 3 elements: the note itself, we cut the note above, and we tap the note from below. So it goes note, cut, tap. 1, 2, 3. And of course, we can't roll a bottom D or a middle D because we don't have a note below. So you get away with that one. But all the other notes we can roll: the E, the F, the G, the A, the B. Can't really roll a C sharp. It's very, very difficult. I mean, I'm sure there's some people who can, but I tend to do other things on a C sharp, and certainly on the middle D and the lower D as well. So there you have it, long rolls. When you practice, yeah, it's always a good idea to try and practice in strict time. You can use a metronome, but if you do use a metronome, I suggest you don't set it too quickly, because you want to work on the cleanliness and the accuracy of the note, cut, tap for the long roll. The other thing which is very useful, as I mentioned previously, record yourself. Have a listen to how you sound. Are the cuts clean? Are the taps clean? Or can you hear the notes clearly? If you can hear the notes clearly, then the finger movements aren't at the correct speed that we need to execute these ornaments in the correct way. So there you have it. Have a go, try them out, and maybe put them into some of the tunes that you're currently playing. If you found this video useful, then you might want to give my YouTube channel a subscribe. I hope it's been helpful. And the next video I'm going to do is a similar one, but we're going to look at the short roll and the short roll rhythms, and I'll give you some exercises to do on those as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.